A C-17 taking the last American boots off Afghan ground. The end of America's longest war, celebrated in Kabul with live ammunition blasted into the sky.
I'm here to announce the completion of our withdrawal from Afghanistan and the end of the military mission to evacuate American citizens, third country nationals, and vulnerable Afghans.
2,462 US service members and civilians have been killed over the last 20 years. And Brown University's Cost of War project estimates that tens of thousands of Afghan civilians have died since the US-led coalition invaded the country. The financial cost of the US estimated at $2.5 trillion, also according to Brown. The Taliban now in control of the last US footprint, Kabul International Airport. The death toll was still climbing as the clock ticked down towards the end of the war. 10 members of the same family were killed in an earlier US drone strike against an alleged ISIS terror team. It had been posing an imminent threat to the airport. 6 of them were children. The Pentagon saying that there were significant secondary explosions, indicating a substantial amount of explosives in a vehicle hit by the drone. With just hours left ahead of the withdrawal deadline, evacuations totaled over 123,000, down to 1,200 in the final 24 hours before the US left. The Taliban, for 20 years just a militant force, must now figure out how to govern. In central Kabul, the economy has ground to a halt, and Afghans are struggling to withdraw money from banks. Many of them are still trying to leave. The Taliban pledged this week that even after the coalition is gone, anyone with a passport will be able to go. And the UN says that more than 500,000 Afghans have been displaced this year alone, and warns of a mass movement of refugees out of the country by land. And that desire to leave is unlikely to wane, even with promises of moderation from Taliban leaders. For now, the Taliban focus will inevitably shift to fighting terrorists from the more radical ISIS-K. For America, this war is over. For Afghans, another may have already begun. Sam Kiley, CNN, Doha.